Hey everyone, it's Patrick from Oakland Travel, and welcome to the very first vlog episode of the Harmony of the Seas cruise in May of 2022. Here we are coming over from Orlando, heading out to Port Canaveral, Florida, about an hour away from Orlando, heading out east towards the coast. So at this point, everything is normal. We're there close to, a little bit early, but close to our embarkation time, the reservation that we made. I was kind of debating back and forth about going early versus getting there close to the time that we're supposed to be there. Because when we came out here in January, we decided to come early and it wasn't a problem. But in January, the capacity was much lower for the Mariner of the Seas. We would later find out that the capacity on the Harmony of the Seas was 5,000, or maybe even more than that. It was much different than Mariner of the Seas in January of 2022. So here we are pulling into the garage, getting ready to drop the luggage. And like I said, up to this point, everything is normal. So we haven't quite come around the corner yet and run into the craziness that you're about to see in the video. So one thing that's different about this is we left on a Sunday and the parking garage was full because one of the other Royal Caribbean ships went out the day before on Saturday. So there are already quite a few people parked in the garage because of that. So there was no room for us to park in the garage. So they sent us across the street to this surface lot over on the side of the cruise terminal. So we parked over there. We brought our luggage, our carry-ons with us. So this is us walking up to the terminal. You'll notice all this luggage. It's just luggage everywhere. Look at this. You've got some of it sitting out in the heat, some out in the sun. It's just luggage. It's just, this was the first indication of just how many people were going to be on this cruise and how crazy it was going to be. And we come around the corner here. We kind of stop for a second for a little bathroom break before we continue on to the front of the terminal building, which is straight down there and a little bit to the left. And so as we approach the terminal building, here's our first real glimpse at the absolute chaos. And if you look closely, you'll notice the blue shirts with the little white things around their collars. Those are the Port Canaveral terminal employees. Those are the ones that control the keys of the castle. Notice right here, you've got about 6 of them, maybe 4, I'm not sure, but right on the other side of this little people here, you've got the blue shirts over here that are the ones that are checking the paperwork. Because you had to have your CDC card, you had to have your test results, and you had to have your passport. Those are the 3 things you needed to physically walk into the building. The problem is the 4/5 people right here in the blue shirts that check this are all the way at the very, right here at the terminal entrance. You see them right there with the blue shirts, okay? They're right here at the terminal entrance. And they're only checking the paperwork right here at the terminal entrance. The other ones, like this guy right here that's waving somebody, all they're doing is basically managing the massive, just absolute chaotic line that is all back through here. So you'll see a couple more blue shirts over here, just waving people through, telling them how to get to the back of the line, just not doing anything other than right here. You got another one right here, just sort of see he's waving people through, right? Not doing anything else. The only people that can check their paperwork are at the front door. And you've got, I don't know how many hundreds or a couple thousand, however many people are back here. And it's just the stupidest situation I've ever seen in my life. And we were in this line for easily an hour and a half before we actually got into the terminal building. And the thing is, they sent emails and text messages telling everybody to make sure they get there on their reservation time or whatever. And in the email, they explicitly called out the fact that the terminal building only has, so much capacity and can only hold so many people, right? The problem is they had created such an incredible bottleneck out here in the garage, in the heat. Remember, this is Central Florida. This is 1:30 in the afternoon, something like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's very hot. You've got a lot of people standing over here in the direct sun, just, They created such a bottleneck outside the building that once you eventually got into the terminal, there was nothing going on in there. There was hardly anybody in there because they'd all gone onto the ship. So the very thing that they warned everybody about in the email wasn't actually a problem because they just moved the problem outside to the parking lot, to the parking garage, to the lower level of the parking garage. And this entire mass of people that you see right here is supposed to be one really big screwed up line that you have no idea where the end of it is. The back of it is actually right here. You see this guy with the blue shirt, the black thing around his neck? This is technically the back of the line. Right here, this little guy with the little microphone on. And so you're supposed to stay in this line, and there's no barriers to know where the line is. So you've got hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people out here in just this mass of crap outside the terminal because only 4 people that can check paperwork are right up at the entrance. Instead of allowing all of the other terminal employees to just check paperwork, and then as soon as they've checked somebody's paperwork, they send them straight into the building, or they give them some sort of a stamp on their paperwork that shows that when they do get up to the front, they can just go right on in because they've already been checked. There has to be some other way to do this. I've reported this when we got on board the ship later on in the cruise after I had gotten over this a little bit because I was fit to be tied when this was going on. I went to guest services and I reported this and told them the entire story. They gave me an email address at Royal Caribbean's customer service over in the UK for me to submit the pictures from this to go along with the story. I submitted it directly to Royal Caribbean's support that travel advisors use as well. Plus, I also listed it in the cruise survey results that I sent in, where you do the survey at the end of the cruise. So I reported this to Royal Caribbean as much as possible. I even spoke to one of the officers at the guest services desk who told me that the terminal facility out here, this is all controlled by Port Canaveral's terminal. It's all nothing to do with Royal Caribbean. But he did tell me that Royal Caribbean has some input into it, and because obviously it reflects on them. And I told him, I said, well, for us, it really, really, really screwed up our embarkation day because we got on the ship. We've never, ever set foot on a ship as late as we did because of this mess. And it screwed up all of our plans for embarkation day. And we were just in a really bad mood the whole rest of the day because of all of this. And it just really threw us off because we didn't get a chance to do any of the things that we normally do on embarkation day. We barely made it to the Windjammer to catch lunch before they actually closed for lunch. And so we got basically the leftovers in the Windjammer. It was, not very good. Just kind of really threw us off in just this entire process. So we finally get inside the terminal, and you notice in here, there's hardly anybody in here. And we moved through the terminal like with no problem whatsoever because everybody's stuck outside. So this was the chaotic embarkation on May 15th, 2022 for the Harmony of the Seas in Port Canaveral, Cruise Terminal number 1. Where are you? Hello.
Patrick, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pose for the photos.
Thank you.
Guys, this way, to the left, to the left. Guys, this way, this way, this way.
Everybody's got to stop and take a photo. We're going to the room, so
I know.
to the left. This is weird coming down this slope. Here's your running track. Yeah, no.
I don't think I needed to do.
Wrong way, wrong way. Yeah, see that. What a chaotic embarkation day. Hectic and chaotic.